Hello and welcome back to another episode of Rich Solar Talk. On today's episode, we're going to be showing you how to set up your Rich Solar 6548 hybrid inverter in split phase or parallel operations. These modes have their specific use cases, so we want to tell you the differences between them and how to properly configure them. For this demonstration, we're going to be using our Rich Solar Alpha 5 server rack battery. First, let's talk about split phase operation. Use split phase if you're setting up a system for 240 volt devices, such as a water heater, air conditioner, or an oven. Parallel operation, on the other hand, is only used for 120 volt devices, such as a microwave, a refrigerator, or a computer charger. Here are the necessary cables that you'll need. First, we have our serial connection cables. Unlike our 3000 inverter, you do need both of them, whereas that one you only needed one. You will be using these for both split phase and parallel. And these are our current sharing cables, the red and black cables. Those will only be used for parallel. And of course, don't forget your battery cables. As for tools, you'll need a socket wrench with a size 13 socket, Phillips head screwdriver, and a small flathead screwdriver. First, we're going to connect the battery to the inverters. So you're going to want to use the Phillips head screwdriver to unscrew the cover, but for this demonstration, I've already done that. Normally, I like to unhook this cable just to prevent any accidents so that I can lay this screen flat and don't have to worry about it. Now we're going to connect the battery to inverter 1. Don't forget, positive to positive, negative to negative. Positive side being marked by red and the negative side being marked with black. After we screwed that in, we're going to want to tighten it with our socket wrench, just to make sure the cables are nice and secure. And now we're going to do the same thing for inverter number 2. Now we're going to put the covers back on. Don't forget to plug this back in. Now we're going to plug in our 2 serial connection cables. Split phase, you'll only need these 2 serial connection cables attached. So now we have everything connected and wired together. Let's fire up our battery, turn on these inverters, and set it up for split phase. So starting with inverter 1, we're going to hold down the enter button. Scroll down the settings until we get to setting number 28. And just like our 3000 inverter, you're going to want to press the power button so that you can access the setting. And then scroll through till you find 2P1 and then press enter. And then the escape button over here. And then wait for your inverter to shut off. And now we're going to move on to the second inverter. We're going to do the exact same thing that we did for the first inverter, except when we get to the option of selecting 2P1, we're going to select 2P2. What you're going to want to do is set it to 2P2 180, not 120. Now that we have our inverters set for split phase, let's turn them on and confirm that the settings stayed. Now as you can see here, inverter 1 says 2P1 and inverter 2 says 2P2. Now let's set up our inverters for parallel. So first you're going to want to turn off the inverters again. Grab your current sharing cable. Now we're going to plug in the cables. Don't forget to use your flathead screwdriver to secure them. And our second cable. Now we're going to plug in the same cables on the second inverter. Make sure that the cables are in the same port for both inverters. So now let's turn on both our inverters. And then what you're going to want to do is hold down the enter button. Press down until you make it to setting 28. Switch off the inverters and press enter. And cycle through until you see PAL for parallel. Press enter, press the back button, and then wait for the inverters to shut off. And now let's turn on both the inverters. And as you can see, they're set up correctly. One reading HS and the other reading SL. And there you have it. That's how you set up your Rich Solar 6548 hybrid inverter in split phase or parallel. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call us or email us, and have a solar day.